All right. Yes, sir. Let me check this out real quick over here. Make sure we're all set up properly. You know that I need to check all that stuff out. Clearly, there's some selling going on, and we'll talk about that in just 1 second. There we go, and yes. Looks like all is well. Wallbanger, what's up? Wallbanger likes numbers. Numbers it is. All right, day 2 in Raleigh. New time for me, 8 p.m. Daily candle close happening in 1 minute and 30 seconds. As we talked about yesterday, we were talking about, or last night I should say, we were talking about the swing failure happening up here, right in this ballpark zone. Anything underneath this line, we're looking short till we cross the line into the cautionary period and then break the horizontal line for back to long territory. We could tell on the MAs over here. I think I have, let me just double check here. Yes. All right. So the pink line is your 7-day EMA, and then blue, orange, green, brown, slate, right? You know, like always, right? Should be 8, 13, 21, 55, and then we do the 100, 200, 500 and 700. But anyway, what I did want to mention is our shorter EMAs and MAs are tilting now. All right, they're working their way down. So we had a bit of a crossover here, and then looks like things are leaning back the other way. All right, so 8 seconds till we close this one out, and then we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail. See, we got Snow. Good morning. Miguel, what's up? Thank you. Yes, I'm back. You know what Chingas is? Yeah, I do. I got the name before I knew what it meant. And I got the name from a trusted source, being my father. So, yeah, long story. All right, so anyway, here we go. Yesterday's candle has officially closed, and it closed in the 7.6 range. So, open 79.51. We had a high of 80.44. We had a low of 75.06. And then we closed it out back up 76.26. Still down $325, so about 4%. So is that a big deal? Well, yeah, it's a big deal, but it's not a lower low, so it's still okay. You can see that we found support here on our orange MA. That should be the 13, but let's just double check. Yeah, orange 13. So this is how I do my MAs: blue, orange, green, brown, brownish, slate, white, red, yellow. And that is 7, 13, 21, 55, 100, 200, 350, and 500. Sometimes I change this. I make it a 500 and make that a 7 or a 750. This is how I have this template set up right here. And then the pink line is fast MA, right? 7 MA. Or EMA, I'm sorry. 7 EMA. 7 EMA. All right. So let me just go back over here. So 7 and 7. Sometimes I use an 8. Sometimes I make the 21 a 20. Just, bear with me. It's a template. Still fine-tuning everything. So anyway, this would be a 7-7 strat if you look at pink and blue. Similar to a 10-10 strat, which would be a 10 EMA crossing with a 10 MA, right? So you have your exponential, and then you have your standard moving average. Anyway, so what I want to talk about here is the rise up, right? Swing fail right here. Failure to make a higher high. Price has reversed. Price has come down. Now we're starting to get confluence with our MAs, right? So we're starting to get a little bit of a cross. You definitely have convergence over here. And right now, what you were showing as support, at least on the daily, showing support on the 13 right now is resistance, right? Just based off of simply how they line up on the chart. That's just how it is. So this would need to cross up over that now. So it has more work to do in order to get out of that little danger zone. So let's just say from here, you need to get up at least, well, you know, $144, and that's kind of a big deal. Easily done in this market, but a big deal nonetheless. So we'll call it 126. Let's just round it up to 130 would get you up over and try to flip that back to support like it did here. Otherwise, right now, it's showing failure, and failure equals downside. So this blue area over here, which I'm still okay with, is 67 to 69. That's that zone. It's that little like sort of retest zone. I'm not sure if I did that last night or not, but anyway, in any event, still, you know, I'm not opposed to coming back down to 56, 53, even testing this lower bottom area around the 40, 48, 44 zone. This big white horizontal is still it's still very much a go. I haven't crossed this off the list. This big wide untested area right here after that huge daily, that to me it still screams to come back and, you know, dance around there for a minute. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. For yesterday's candle, we can clearly say big candle to the downside. It's the third candle in a row on the downside. Volume was just a shade higher than it was the day prior, which was a spinning top. So with the spinning top, you had indecision. This candle would have been your candle to push up past previous closure. It didn't do that. So instead, you painted yourself a swing failure, topping it off with a hanging man. So a hanging man comes in here and says, all right, well, you got your choice, right? You got tug of war going on, bulls, bears, nobody can decide. Well, the clear winner is the bears, right? The bears have taken the third candle and therefore rounding this out as, you know, trend. So on a micro level, all right? So don't, you know, hold me on trend. Yeah, no, I got you. We're still in an uptrend. Don't worry about it. Well, we're still in a global down. So I don't think anybody's really going to contest whether we're in an up or a down, but global, at least on the larger scale, you know, clearly we're still going down. However, on the large global scale, clearly we're still going up, right? So it's just a, you got your low, you got your high, you got your higher low, next one, higher high. All right, so it's all perspective on how you look at how you're looking at the particular market. If we were to go by, you know, just over the last 2 years or so, so let's go back to the fall at 17. You know, is the correction over? I don't believe so, but you'll have target areas. You know, this is your first fail, second fail, third fail, fourth fail, fifth fail, and then drop. So you would need to get past the drop, which is what we're doing right now. You can see we got past it, and then we retested it. That's good, right? You got to get past the next one, which is where we're at right now. So that's where it's kind of battling back and forth. Price is above it right now, so that's good. Could come back down for a retest, which would make sense. And that would be 72.94 ballpark area. Right, but then you got your next target area, right? Target area would be about 82. You got another one at 96. You got another one at 11.4. And then your last one at 16.2. And then, of course, you know, the big mammer jammer, the all-time high, getting up over 19.4, or I guess technically speaking, 19.891. All right. So anyway, there's a lot of theories out for all of these different levels, and, you know, we'll just play it by ear like we always do. I am glad I pulled this up, though. So on the weekly chart, we can see, at least as far as we're concerned, right, we're still within pattern here, blue, orange, green. Brown, though, our 55 is up top. But we did just cross, right? Bullish cross on our lowers, right? Our EMA and our MA. So 7 over 55 is good. It's very good. We did get our, not so good cross right here, but we're not going to talk about that at the present moment. But we can still see support down on the downside over here. So, things, relatively speaking, things are looking pretty good. Coming down for the weekly, right? A drop down here is not unusual. This would be just a clear pullback. And pullback zones, generally speaking, let's just, this is going to be a disaster. Yeah, total disaster. But let's check this real quick. If we were to do, I think I already have one out here, but whatever. Be that as it may, let's just put a new one up. We'll call it 8361. A pullback down to 618. I know this might blow your minds, but 5127. All right, and that's not unusual. All right, now this is a weekly chart, so things are going to look a little different, and it's going to take a little while for that to mature. But be that as it may, 618 pullback is fine. Right? We haven't even hit a 236 pullback after this massive move up, right? So you got a huge move up. You expect some type of pullback, at least a 5, right? At least 57 would make sense. Would also test previous structure right here. 618 would test a previous low end structure at this ballpark here. 786, which is reasonable, would test previous structure right here. So it actually has a bit of confluence also with that the original swing fail, right? That broke push that gave us these highs right here. So anyway, tons of theories. We take it one day at a time because that's how we like to look at the markets. But it is always a good idea just to get a larger perspective on what's shaking, so you could sort of just be educated on what's going on. On the daily over here, you can see that you are painting, a bit of a symmetrical triangle. I don't really want to draw it out, but I will just because. But I mean, this is very quick and crude, but ballpark figure. Of course, we can always drop this back. Just do bodies, something like this, but. That on top of, let's say we take our, that's not going to look good. Well, yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. Let's say we did this. And, well, that's supposed to just be a giant staff. Okay, something like that. But anyway, bowl, right? Bowl, flag, pennant, really. So, yeah, there's 1,000 different ways to look at this. What I like to look at is just what the candle is sort of telling us. And this is telling me we had a strong move up, but we failed, right? We failed to get a higher high, in which case the bears came in. Bears said, all right, well, here we go. We'll test the lows. Bulls ended up winning, but still a hanging man is on the top of an uptrend, is indication of downward movement. So spinning top tells us there was indecision, a little tug of war action. Nobody really won that day, even though it went down $50. Still, it's anybody's ballpark. This was the solidifying factor that says, all right, well, we're coming down, but we did find support on our 13. Next stop, right, would be our 20 or 21, and currently that's sitting about 7,000. Right, so we do have buying coming in so far. Right, we're up $9. And we'll just have to see where the market goes from here. All right, so that's the Bitcoin spiel for now. Let me take a look at this real quick. Let's see. Do I think ZIL will reach 350? 350 what? Dollars? Lady Jane, hello. 350 then 4. Finally didn't fall asleep. At 2 a.m. Lady Jane, welcome. Got 72.50 for BTC. Maybe too optimistic for ZIL. Maybe 320. Let's just look at ZIL. I mean, what are we talking about here? ZIL. All right, let's take a look. Zill, you guys are talking. Okay. Sats, you had me all confused here. All right, let's take a look. Optimistic point of view for Zill. Let me clean this up real quick. All right, what are we looking at here? Zill. Jeez. Okay. Sorry, I had to get the chart actually looking chart-like. It's been a while since we've been on this chart because our 0 line is still way the hell up here, and that is clearly wrong. Undo that for a second. All right, hold on here. All right, so I'm not sure what do we got. Okay. I like to just do a global long term, you know, all-time high, all-time low. You know, how long until we get back, right? That's something that I like to do. Let me just clean all this crap up. I don't know what it is. It's been a while since I've been on the Zill BTC chart. I think I had Zill for the tether pair that I was charting more recently. Anyway, let's take a look at the big dump down, right? Big push down, came back, painting yourself a little bit of a triangle, right? Swing fail to the top side, push back, over, push up, failed to make a higher high, almost a double top, drop, came back, started making a new trend, failed, swung down, and now you got your little step ladder push, right? So now what we're looking at down here is our 0 line, and can we get back to just this, right? So just on the local side, on the daily chart, let's just take a look at what it would take just to get back 23%. So 23% is right where we're at right now, right? It's literally, it's right here. It's 280 ballpark. Next stop would be 328 for this particular push. But on the larger scale, right, we're looking at 236 to the high side, 747. So if we just took just this push right here, this big push down, let's take a look at what this ended up being. Probably going to be an 886 or more, right? So let's just do that and make it exactos, and we could take a better look at just what's shaking right here. So just off of the reversal play, right? This would be similar to like a dead cat bounce, where price just shifted down and then boop, boop, a little bit of a bounce, and then, but however, this recovered instead of dropping further down below. So that's why I took it down from the low, right, up to, let's do this first, up to here, 261. So let's do that. So just this move came down, found support right here, 886. All right, everybody see that? So we're down on our low, we have our high, right? Where did we pull back? How much did we pull back? All right, just about to the 886, found support, big push up. All right, so now we're going to take this, slide it over here, we're going to take our new top right here. Now let's take a look. If we had a similar situation and we were going to pull back all the way down to the 886, you're looking at coming down from this move, coming down to a 223, right? So that's a lot. Now, if we just get some target areas just based off of that move, right, we can clearly see we already hit our 1618 target. Bang, bang, hit it twice. 2618 target would be my next target based off of just this, right? If I really liked it, I'd be shooting for 342. After 342, I'm at 392 and then 423. 423, now you can see the amount of horizontals we have in between here, right? And these are all, could act as, you know, support resistance, right? To a certain degree. But I do like this volume push is real nice. We're up over average volume, which is very good. Last time we did that was way the hell over here, where we had a couple good volume moves, but I don't think we've ever seen volume this high, right, in the life of the chart. No. So this is record-setting volume. So if that doesn't bring interest into the market, what will, right? So these types of moves, this is still a great move right here. This candle is 21%. This other one's 758, give or take. Something like this, though, you would want to take a look at maybe the 4-hour or the 1-hour chart. Get an idea of how it actually behaves. Clear indication right here that this is going to drop back down, so that's good, right? It's sort of following suit. When it came down, right, it did find support, a few different levels, push back up, swing fail, dropped here. So now you can sort of dissect what it did once before and say, okay, well, here's my swing fail, right? What happens on a swing fail? Push up, bang, kick back. You got your retest, and then off to the races. You could have had all of that and sold right here at the 1618. Sell there, wait for a pullback hits back, previous structure highs right here. This whole zone would have been a buy zone up, next target, 342. So to answer your question, if I were to have gotten in on this trade, based off of two things. One, based off of this move. Two, based off swing fail. My first target would have been 292, would have pulled out. I would have let drop back, previous structure highs, so it would have been somewhere in... Wrong box. There we go. Somewhere between body and... Where is that? Somewhere around there. Somewhere between body and wick, right? Previous structure highs. So let's say, bang, you sold right here, 1618. And what'd you do? You immediately rebought right here, right? So you buy right there, and you're instantly... within whatever, 8 hours, you're up 19%, right? You're right back to the 1618. But target would be this right here, 2618, 342, 36%. All right, so that's where I'm at for ZIL. If, whether I'm in the trade or not, which ZIL, I'm currently not in this trade. But if I was in the trade and I did it based off here, yeah, first target was already hit, pull back, rebuy, right, push back up. My next target is 342. So do I think we can get up there? Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. Everything hinges off of what Bitcoin's doing, right? Bitcoin dumps. I think it's down. We're down another 100, right? So 75.93. So, Bitcoin dumps, and the alts they have trouble dealing with that, and they always have, and well, they probably always will. Maybe not. But look, clearly, 1 hour 20. This is wrong. Hold on, we gotta clean that up a little bit. But on the 1 hour and wow, that's right. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Look at the red, right? The red. There's not much shaking in the green, but look at these, right? 2 weeks ago, 42 up, 25 up, 37 up, 20, 51%, right? 83%. I feel like this is just old. I don't know. This does not look right. But that's going to be global 7659. I mean, that could be right. This takes index pricing, so everything's a little bit wonkier, but this is just a good, quick glance at the market, everything's tanking because of this guy, right? This guy basically says, I'm coming down, and then everybody follows suit, right? And then you get those few charmers in here that are like, I don't care what Bitcoin's doing. I'm going to crush it with Bitcoin Diamond. I mean, rock and roll, man. That's awesome. But when you're in a market like this, you have to be very much aware of what else is happening, right? You're pegging this to, a coin that's fluctuating every second. All right. So this is pegged, right? This is a ZIL BTC pairing, right? So, it has to fluctuate when Bitcoin price goes up or down. So you have to be aware of that. If you were on a USDT chart, then you're showing what that price is reflected to in US dollar value, not in Satoshi value. It's very different. Anyway, so yeah, ZIL Zill, next target from here is getting back to 292. Actual target would be 342. 342. Stop, analyze, reanalyze the market, see what's shaking. You know, obviously you got to deal with some of this stuff over here as far as support resistance levels coming in. After that would be 392 and then 423, which is funny because 423, 423, right? What are the odds? What are the odds? And then 747, I believe, was the longer term 236, getting back from all-time high, 747. All right. So if you look at it like that, you say, you know, I don't really care. I'll just, whatever, long-term investment. I'll just buy now. And I want to go up to 747. All right, so if Zill makes it back to its 236 from all-time high, you'd be up 166%. All right, so not bad. Not bad at all. All right, what do we got? G-Byte. Yeah, G-Byte. Very nice. Zen. Oh man, one of my favorites. Zen. Well, let's do a G-Byte for snow because you know it's G-Byte, and it's like mandatory tradition. You know what I mean? So Byte Ball. Did we get rid of our? Where's our monster? Oh, we had something here. Maybe not. Ooh, look, we get to spread this over. Oh, happy day. All right, hold on. 1 second here. What do you got? This is down on the 127 line. Let me just stretch that out a little bit. Okay. Hey, we're back in range. All right, so Byte Ball. And throw on the 24 chart. Let's see what we got going on over here. I think we could probably clearly get rid of our little cup. This just doesn't need... Oh. All right, well, don't worry about it. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of... That's what I wanted to get rid of. Okay, here we go. So we talked about, right, finally breaking out of range. Since you attempted before, right, I like to put that one line up here to say, all right, well, you know, you got to cross over that line, yada, yada, yada. We did. We pushed up. We didn't close above it. We did close right here. Came right back down. However, that is a higher high. So you are within trend. Ended up pushing up. And what is this? That's just weird. It's fine, but it's weird. Okay. And if you held in there, you would have been fine, but you would have taken a beating. 23% drop, right? That's rough. So if you risk less capital, you can absorb that beating. Ended up not coming back down here, so you're good. Pushed all the way back up. We did get the 1618, right? So that's what you would have been looking for, is this level right here. 80. Wow, it's way too many numbers. We'll just call it 49. So 49.8. Pushed up, you got it, you're good. Another push, another push, another push, another higher high. So 1, 2, 3, yes, 1, 2, 3, perfect. We have a trend. Trend is good. What happens now? We drop down, but it's still a higher low. We're okay. Push back up. What do we have? Swing fail, failure to break above our higher high. So now we got to do this. We're going to do this, drop that on here. We're going to take this, trend line over, and then we'll paint ourselves our little swing fail, right? So more or less, what we wanted is next stop 63.72, but we can't do that because now we have to deal with this tragedy over here. Now, when you look at trend, right, and you want to say, oh, well, I'm still in trend because I got a low and a higher low. Yeah, you do. Okay, but you want to be able to at least identify what major trend, right? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. No. Swing fail. drop. All right. So as long as you can identify that, then you can start to say, all right, well, this was my, previous low. So I had a low, a higher high, higher low. Okay. And then I had a high and a higher low. Okay. So what happened in both those places? At a higher low right here, what happened? You got crushed. You had another higher low right here, right? What happened? You got crushed. So whenever you have a... What's going on here? There we go. So whenever you have a previous structure get tested and rejected, right, now you have to start saying to yourself, all right, well, my structure was in trend. Now I have to widen my trend to make it still be in trend, right? You had to adjust your trend to make this work. Is this a higher low? Sure. Are we on the weekly chart? No. So it sort of makes a difference, right? You broke previous structure. This was your low, right? This was your higher high, and then your low after your higher high was right here, and you broke it. You violated it, right? This is also an area to put stop losses if you fail to make a higher high. So this got violated. So that's your first indication to get out of the trade if you haven't already been stopped out of the trade, right? Next indication to get out of the trade, your second violation right here, right? So prior to this low being your next, higher low within sequence, this is the low prior to that. So now you violated it twice, right? So your violation, plus you're under a swing failure, right? So you're short anyway at this moment. So now what you have to do is now you have to say, all right, well, what's happening here? I'm out of the trade. I'm back in range, right? This whole range area, right? Now you got buy orders that are all the way back down here that aren't even getting launched, right? You bought all this, you bought it all, you bought all of that, you bought all of that, you bought all of that, and now massive dump, right? You bought all of this and now massive dump. So expect buy orders down here, right in this zone. See this? Monster wick, small bodies, right? Expect those buy orders. And they are sitting there and they are licking their chops because they're saying, if we can just push this thing down a little bit more, we can get filled. Right? This whole zone is winner chicken dinner. 26 to 24. Holy cow, that's crazy. But people are licking their chops over here because now they're saying momentum's on our side. Right? We pushed this. They pushed it. They're so close they could taste it. And once these buy orders start to hit, you're going to notice volume's going to come up. Right? You're going to paint yourself a big, massive wick. And now you have the opportunity to push. Right? You got to break this level. When you reintroduce yourself into range like this, you don't have to worry about pushing out and retesting, right? Anything goes at this moment. So if you do get buy orders over here, if it even pushes down that far, which it doesn't appear to have too much more to go. Let's just say top of our buy is another 10%. If it does push down and it makes its way down there, right, I would expect to see tons of buy orders. And then you're sort of knocking on the door back over here and say, hey, let me in. Now, there is also the very real chance you could sit back in range like this. All right, this market will play with your emotions all day. We could sit in range for another 8 months, okay? And that'll give time for Bitcoin to come all the way back down, 31.21, retest, break that low, get down to 29, yada, 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 yada. Again, there's 1,000 different things that could happen, but these are very real scenarios that we deal with on a daily basis. So, yeah, it is possible that we range out for a bit, but I would put some Hail Mary orders down here. If I was going to be long on this, I'd throw some Hail Marys over here And if you really want to get into the trade, look about kind of where we are right now. Look about halfway into that zone, right? The range zone. As you can see, buying already happened right now. We'll see if that'll withstand or if they're going to get momentum back the other way. But that's all buying. That's buying, right? That's all that is. It's getting people to get better deals. Look at the size of some of these wicks. Look at this. Look at that wick. This monster wick. Look at that monster wick. Right? That's like a flash crash. Like someone saying, hey, we got something on discount 85% for the next 2 minutes. All right, everyone's going to fly in there and buy it. So that's what you're seeing right here. All the buying. But momentum is on their side to push it down further. And we'll just have to see how that's going to go. One thing you do have going against you is this right here. Right? An indication that people are tired of the current price action. Okay? Volume is down while the price is going down. Less and less interest in this scenario. People want to buy. They want to do that. They want to do that. Which means that this has to do this. Okay? You need volume to come back on the buy side. Push up to break this scenario here. So we'll see. That's what I got for G-Buy. Now let's take a look at Zen, huh? Zen BTC, yeah, Horizon. I like this project. All right, so Zen BTC, yeah. It's been a while since I looked at this chart. This is like a set it and forget it. Very nice. Doesn't show my, Oh, it does show my buy orders. So those red boxes, these were buy orders. All these. And this was a premature buy order based off of what we saw at the time. That goes back to December. Then we had a huge push up, which was real nice. Right, and then it all collapsed. And as it came crashing down, it looked like it found support. So it was like, all right, that's a good spot to buy. And then, it came down even further. So we had new buy orders over here. We missed the low, but that's fine. We ended up painting ourselves a bit of a jacked up inverse head and shoulders. But it did play out. We got our mark right here, which is good. And now we have some new levels to deal with. So as far as Zen's concerned, on the bigger picture, yeah, we're still holding as far as trend is concerned. Like I just did in the other one, you zoom out a little bit and say, all right, well, what am I actually looking at here? So this is your low, this is your higher high, and this is your higher low, and that's your higher high. So you got actually a bit of an ABCD here, which would look similar to this. So if you were to do A, B, where's my low here? C, and then let's see, 1, 2, be like D. So it's like already complete, right? Like a 1, 2 would have been like here. So you got your A, B, C, D already. Now if you were to extend that to a 2, 2, then you're like right here. Right here would be a negative 1618 off of whatever this is. We're just gonna get rid of that for now. This is all confusing stuff. I don't know what's happening here. What is this based off of? Oh, okay. This is that's fine. We'll get rid of that too. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all this, and all this, and this. Try to clean it up just a little bit. All right. So within our pattern, so to speak, that would be an okay mark. I want to get something a little bit more large scale, long term. So yeah, we cleared that trend. That's good. Get this out of here. All right, so I don't go by, I don't go by listing. Take that. I'm going to take this as the high. Let's get the low is what? 1100. All right, so look at that. Bang. First target hit. That's perfect. Perfect. Does not get any better than that. So a good push, global side, all-time high, all-time low, right? And what'd you get back? You got 23% back. That's perfect. All right, now, of course, you did find rejection, so you have selling. So what happens after that? You got to find support and push back up for the next leg. Next leg, 27.58, right, on the long term, on the bigger picture. So we could do a few things here. Let's take a look from our low, right, to our high, which is what? 1900. Let's do that. This doesn't have to be exact, so I'm going to leave that here at 1902. Don't worry about it. Came up, big push, came down. What'd you get? Support at the 786. 786 pushed back up, right? What happened, right? Got a little bit of resistance back at the 1-to-1, 1-to-1, push back up. Looked like it stopped in the middle of nowhere. That's not nowhere. That's the 236 from the all-time high. Perfect. Now, let's do this. New targets. New targets. New targets acquired. So here's the deal. Come on. Don't do all. Just work with me here, computer. Jeez Louise. All right. Can we do that? Thanks. 1276. All right. Let's just put that right here. Hey, perfect. All right. So now, need some targets. Targets set up for a 1618. Target based off of the larger pullback on the daily chart would put us around 2285. 2285, 2618, 2909, 36, 35, 33, 42 at 3918. So on the long-term bigger scale, right, I'm looking at this zone. Why? Well, because that's in between the 618 retrace off of all-time high, not including listing. That's settled, all-time settled high. That's what we'll call it. So it'd be like that. All right? And then 423 based off of this initial pullback back to the 786 from our reversal. So this is reversal. This is finding bottom, finding reversal, getting a pullback, healthy pullback, higher high. Now we have a trend. Now that we have a trend, we get targets. Targets for that particular trend show us in this range right here. So yes, 236 is a target. Yes, 382 is a target. 382 and our 2618 are targets. So, you could kind of do something like this for each one of them, right? Let's pull this down. We'll say like, so 26. So something in that ballpark there. And then again, here. Although I wouldn't, don't worry about the 3-6 and the 5. Concentrate more on the 1-6, the 2-6, and the 4-2. So you already got your 2-3. So this one's just a clear, just get the 1-6 and get the hell out of here. And that you do have to at least get back up to where we were. So something like this, as far as targets are concerned, I'd be pretty cool with all of this. What is going on here? What is going on here? All right, that's cool. That's cool. Yep. All right, so cool. That's what I got. Get rid of all this junk. All right, so anyway, yeah, you're looking at good levels over here, at least for the time being, as far as future. What's happening right now on the tighter window, you're still forming a trend. You know, if we get our little trends out here, our little trend buddies, we get a better idea on what might be happening. Plenty of room to come down. If we are to come down, it would still be within trend, still a higher high, still okay. No need to worry about that. If we look at where we failed in the past, that would have been right here. So failure on the high side, swing, fail, drop down, push up, right? We did end up getting a close above with a retest back on that line with a good push, drop down. During the drop down, you can see a little hesitation right in this ballpark right here. Previous structure high, gave hesitation, drop back down again, right? Big push down, retested structure lows, push back up to this level right over here, which is just about the bottom range of that previous structure, and then back down again for structure lows. So we could see like this ballpark zone where we are right now was right here, previous structure highs, and testing like with the low side. All that junk, right? So it's just a matter of finding support, allowing it to do its thing. If it does come all the way back down, I still wouldn't be worried if it was down over here, right? But once you go past that, let's say you're down in this ballpark, right, then that's looking dangerous, okay? Then you're like that. And what does that coincide with? This. Break that plane, right? It's lights out. You know, you break that because that's your structure, right? This is your structure, just like we just talked about. You break that previous low, right, that you're counting within trend, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So you break that, you're in bad shape. Something like that. Bad shape. This whole area is bad news. Bad news bears. That whole zone. All right. So there you go with Horizon. Blue Cross Blue Shield. I know. All right. What do we got? Zan BTC, how is ETH? I was a bit late to the live stream. Sorry if it was already mentioned. No problem. Snow, you're welcome. The indicators I use are totally different, but I'm seeing things very similar to what you see. Wall banger, that's what I'm talking about. Hey man, there's 1,000 different ways to cross the street. You know what I mean? It's all same destination. Same destination. ETH, USD. Oh, man. Man, I don't know what chart. What? If somebody knows our ETH chart, just go ahead and shout it out, because I don't remember. It's clearly not this chart. Let's see. ETH. Did we do Tether last time? All right. I guess Tether. That's fine. All right, so how does Ethereum look? Probably looks very similar to Bitcoin. Usually does, but it has been known to sort of do its own thing. All right, we did get a push out of a wedge zone over here, which is kind of cool. For that pattern on daily, like, you guys call me crazy, but I still would like to see a retest. Okay, so something like that. If we were to come out and retest, I would expect a fairly good move up. This one's painting a much better pennant than Bitcoin was. A little bit more clear, this one. So ballpark would be, you know, let's just say if we use the wicks, a wick, something like that. All right. So this would be a little bit more clear cut bowl pennant. Bowl pennants traditionally, right? It's a bowl pennant. So traditionally you would expect that this is going to break to the high side, and then you can more or less just do this, break to the high side, and that would get us up to 372, would be basically the next leg up. Again, with our 236 on the global side, I don't know if that's right though. Do I have my low? Is our low in? Yeah, down here, right? So 236 to the upside is 402. Again, that's our target. That's a bit of our long-term target based off of just chart-wise and what we're looking at. So original massive swing fail, right here. This is our breaking point up, came back, retested structure highs, previous structure highs at the moment. Push back up, great push, just like Bitcoin. Nothing major here. Very good move to the upside. This whole area basically untested, which is not good. It wasn't really tested on the way down, not really tested on the way up. If we are to drop down, both of these scenarios, believe it or not, are bullish, right? If we are to drop down, right, I still expect that in return, all right? If we are to push up, then I would expect this as the move, right? Bowl, pennant, or flag. Pennant, yeah. Flag is like flag is this. Right? That's your flag. More vertical though. More like that. Something like that. Anyway, let's get rid of the junk. Yeah, so ETH looks fine. More downturn in the future, sure, could be. We are on the low end of our pattern, so you could be looking at 17% down and then testing support out of the breakaway, which would be totally fine with me. If not, to the upside, you have a little ways to go to break pattern. So let's just zoom in a little bit here. If you were to break this pattern to the upside, and it happened today, when it starts getting into the 257 zone, start paying attention. All right? That's your indication that we are approaching pattern. All right? Pattern smash time. Smash out of that pattern. Pennants are a little bit weird. Or flags, I should say, are a little bit weird. You do expect a retest, but it does not always happen. So, more than likely what people will do is they'll put this down on like a 4-hour chart, right, where they can get into the nitty-gritty, and what they'll look for is a close above, and then they buy the next candle. Okay? So you'd be looking for a close above, right? Next candle may come down or may go up. All right? So you look for the close. And then some people will buy that close, and they just kind of close their eyes and say, well, I hope we go up from here. Now, on the downside, same thing. Close below. You can see we tested with wicks, but I'm talking about a close below, candle close below, right? And then a push down further. So it is possible we end up doing this, right? And it's not out of the norm to just do that. But what we would rather see is that, and then a confirmation that's the direction price wants to go. Okay? Same thing for the upside, so don't worry. It can be bullish. Okay? I know I hate to put two different scenarios on here, but with patterns, it's like you got two different scenarios. I don't know what to tell you. We're in a pattern. All right? So these are two different ways it could go. Right now, you want to long the pattern, go ahead. Just sell right here. You want to short the pattern, go ahead. Put your sell orders up top. And you can work that pattern all the way down. Just like we do right here. Up, down. That was up. This is down. This is up. This is down. All right, this would be pattern trading. Just like that. Now, clearly, it didn't make it all the way, and you have to sort of gauge how you're going to play that. But, it's similar to grid trading, right? You got grid trading, which would be, more or less, like a box, like this. Right, and then within that box, you would have your grid. Right, and your grid sort of denotes, ranges, right? So, you would buy, sell, break, rebuy, sell. You know what I mean? So it's the same deal. Same deal. You're just within a pattern. All right. So it's just an idea to look at. But I would say right now, you can't really, unless you're playing the pattern, you can't really make too many calls on this. Besides, that we're within trend. The trend is long. That's the trend. So if you're looking at the daily chart, right, you're still long. You got a low, you got a high, you got a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Currently have a higher low, so there's nothing to look at unless you want to start dissecting smaller time frames and really get in there for patterns or pattern completions or stuff like that. You can see it. I mean, whatever this is, this should have been a buy box, right, between the 618 and the 709. So just based off of that move, right, we're in pretty good shape. So bought at 167. All right, currently at 242. That's not half bad. And of course, over here, come back for a retest, right? Now, do you have the retest on the 4 hour? Holy! Don't worry about that. Yeah, you do. So on the 4 hour, you're good, right? You broke, you failed, you came back up, you closed above, you came back down, retested, pushed back up again. On the daily, not so much. So on the daily, you never really came back here, which is why that's a possibility, especially now that you have a pattern. All right. We are approaching the 9 o'clock hour, so let's do one more chart, and then we will wrap it up for the night. Go check that jet. Quick. All right, what do we got here? If it breaks below 240, I've got 224, 217 as a buy. I still think 148 is a target in September. If ETH goes to 148 in September, it's the last time we will see that low of a price. Wall banger, you don't know that. ETH could go down to $1. Right? It's totally possible. This market, no one knows. That's the beauty of it. We can only watch it, learn it, live it, breathe it, and make our analysis make the most sense without having bias. All right, but if you want to see, I'll show you how we can get lower than 148 just by looking at this real quick. Check this out. Push down, high, higher high, swing fail with the push. All right, so now what do you have here? You got the opposite of what we always do, right? We take our move to the upside, but what if you took your move to the downside? What if you played your cards like this? Holy moly. Holy moly. I don't even think it's... Your 1618 is negative $312. So clearly we can't use that. We'll have to go to the daily. Let's get rid of this. Let's go to the daily over here. Let's get something that makes a little bit more sense. All right, so here we go. We got a good push up. So we're looking on the downside. We're looking for a good push down. Right, that's our good push down right here. That's pretty good, and that's our first retrace, right? So what did we have from here down? Our retrace was 786, about a 786 retrace. So then it's the same deal, right? We're just looking to short. So if we were looking to short, let's see, we would have shorted somewhere in this ballpark, 1277, shorted down to 432. If I told you that at the time, you would have told me I was insane. But we hit our 1618 right there. Now we're getting too low for 2618, so that's not going to work. 2618 is like, doesn't even exist. Negative $89, so it just won't work. But anyway, yeah, let's say we put, all right, I'll tell you what. 1618. Because that one's a little bit more dramatic. I mean, I guess, but really, you know, for the most part, drop down, push back up, push down. Yeah, I guess I don't really want to put it down here. And that's not really the greatest push. Let's say we pushed it here. Should not be good, but we could. Something like that. It's not going to give us anything. Nope. Not much. Sorry. I guess the biggest one is this guy right here. On the longer term. So you'd be looking at the 1618 from here. $58. $58. And are we in a downtrend? Yeah, we sure are. Right? We're not out of the global down. We're certainly in a downtrend. So, that being said, you know, if you were to use $58 as a target, it would look something like that. Right? Because all things considered, we're still in a downtrend. Although this is exciting, right? So check this out. From where we are, right? So, you know, obviously with the swing fail, we've crossed, right? That's our that's our median line, right? That's the bullish zone. I guess swing fail was definitely a little bit further in, right? So but we definitely crossed it, right? So that's a win. But look where I line this one up here, median line with just like a little bit of an extension. That would be That would be real nice. That's a great cross. That's a great cross. So to come back and actually retest, come back in a pattern, just a shade right here. And then on that 192 horizontal, that'd be fantastic. But anyway, yeah, long story short, it's possible. Everything's possible. That's one reason why you got to love this market, man. Anything is possible. We just saw coins go 60% like 2 days ago. Right? Now they're currently down 40%. So things move, man. Things move like crazy. Like hot cakes. 8180. Oh, that's awesome. Good deal, man. I love it. I love it. Wallbanger, you're a classic, man. I love that. All right. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this one up. I do very much appreciate everyone coming out. You guys are the best. Oh yeah, good times. It's good to be back. It is good to be back. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know the deal. Until then, I want to see you guys on the exchanges and happy trading.